This shorty I know named, shout out Jessica Flores. She was working at Power, and somebody had hollered at her like, "Yo, do you know any LA rappers that would be interested in the show?" And she named me. This person reached out to me, did the whole audition process in 2019, and
really?
then in 2019, right away. While D Smoke was on the rise, they do all the the self-tape part of the auditions. Submit that. They're like, "Yo, we fucking love you. Let's set up an in person where you can meet the EPs and we can do a little vibe check." And then boom, COVID. So they're like, "Yo, we gonna call you in like 2 weeks." Yeah, okay. Well, 2 weeks turns into like 3 fucking years.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, there's like Rhythm and Flow, fucking Slovakia or wherever they doing it in other countries and stuff.
But they didn't care about COVID.
Like, right. It was like France and some other countries they was doing Rhythm and Flow. So I'm like, oh, it's OD. Like it's a wrap. This is never gonna happen. So over the course of the next 3 years, I would get drunk at the house and be smoking with the homies, and I'd be like, "Man, I was gonna be on Rhythm and Flow." I was all sad and shit.
4 touchdowns in one game.
Right. I was like, man, I was hella sad, bro. I was like, man, I was gonna be on Rhythm and Flow and then shit, whoop de whoop. Would tell this story to hella peoples. But one of my friends that she lived in the same building as me in downtown LA. She was one of the people that I cried to. I was like, man, I'm like whoop de whoop. Years later, 2023, she calls me, and she would call me for all types of shit. I help her with her washer, watch her dog, or whatever. And she would, so I'm like, "Oh, what's up with it?" She was like, "Yo, you remember that one rap show you were all sad about because you like cast it and it never went through?" I was like, "Yeah." It's like, "I heard it's coming back." I'm like, "Okay, well, way to rub it in." Because the guy that casted me the first time, he went on to become a famous TikToker. So I'm like, "Bro, this dude, I swear to God,
it's a rap.
Like, it's a rap. He's not. I don't have my foot in no more." So then she says, "Well, guess who the new casting producer is?" And it's me.
Wow.
So,
fire. The universe.
Right.
Look at God.
Straight like that. That's the only way to describe it. So with all that serendipity, still went through the same process as everybody else.
Really?
Yeah.
You had to audition again?
I had to audition again. And honestly, I didn't think they was gonna do it because I had at that point. That's 8 years since the last time I dropped a record. But I just randomly did that House of Blues show. And that clip from the House of Blues show, I think, is what kind of convinced the EPs like, oh, he could still do this.
Word. That was in, I remember seeing clips of that. Which House of Blues was that?
Anaheim.
Okay, word.
Sold out show, baby. You know what I'm saying? First show in 6 years.
Well, you had all the Usos showed up and shit.
That's right.
Said all my aunties, uncles,
right, real talk.
cousins.
That takes up about half the venue.
Couldn't even hear you over the Chi-Hoos. It was crazy.
That's true, though. That's true.
Well, how was that as an experience for you, bro? Because this would be like your first like show, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been producing.
Yeah.
For, like
Red Bull,
everything.
and like All Def. Yeah.
Dash.
And what was that? There was that company for full screen.
Big Frame.
Forefront.
I was with Big Frame.
Okay.
But Forefront was like the All Def before All Def, like where they put all the black and brown.
Yes.
And then that when literally like that whole roster went on to become All Def. But to answer your question, is kind of like the reason I brought up the producing part is because I've been producing content and everything from fucking social stuff to feature films for like 10 years. And to be on that side of the line, to be on the talent side was super interesting because I'm so used to viewing this whole project as a producer, which was a blessing, but also like a major curse because you could see like right through the bullshit, and not that there was a bunch of bullshit, shout out Netflix, you know what I'm saying? Wink, wink,
Don't start me. Don't start me.
But no, man, like, yeah, it was a magnificent experience as an MC. I think as a producer, it was super anxiety driven and like,
you was over there like, oh man, you sure you want to do it like that?
Yeah, or I'm just trying to help, I just want to make the product better.
I know.
And so it was kind of a 50-50 situation. I think it was a dream come true. I think I had a bit of an idea of what was to come because of obviously seeing what happened with Smoke and Flawless and Troy Man and London B and everybody who, saw a little bit of success out of the first season. I was like, okay, I know what I can get out of this. But it was obviously like you're putting yourself to like the craziest level of perception you've ever been in. So that part comes with anxiety.
Let me ask you this, bro. Like, being somebody who is on a Netflix show in a time where social media is like at its like, height, right? Where people just want to pick apart and talk shit about everything. But it's also helping you grow.
Right.
What are like the pros and cons of that? You feel me? Because I always tell Rick, I'm low-key kind of happy that I didn't pop off when I thought I was gonna pop off. because social media is so crazy. You feel me? So how do you feel in a time where not only is it like, some would say it's very sensitive, but people are kind of picking apart everything you do, who you are as a person, how you look.
Right.
How's that for you?
I would say the pros and cons is more pros than anything. I think that, again, like my experience working on the tactical side of social media or like using it as a mechanic and kind of like understanding the landscape and how people behave and how they respond to shit put me in a position where like I could avoid a lot of the cons that come with it, right? It's like you just fucking behave. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a dumbass. Right? Real shit. It's so fucking simple. But it's like you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you want a fucking nice car, you got to spend the money. So you have to put yourself in the line of fire in order to be perceived even on a positive level. You have to accept that what Kendrick just say, you got to understand that everybody not gonna like you. Well, he did say that too. But no, in the intro he said,
mustard.
Say it louder.
What did the great philosopher Kendrick say? Mustard.
But no, real shit. You got to understand that everybody's not gonna like you, and I think that you have that right. So I just kind of took it on the chin and was like, look, I got to put myself out there to be perceived, and perception is up to the perceiver.
For sure.
So from a pros and cons standpoint, like I take all the pros, and I accept the cons, but they're honestly minimal. Unless I'm doing some funny shit, you know what I'm saying? Which I try to believe I'm not, and I try to not do funny shit.
I don't know you didn't do funny shit.
Yeah, thank you.
And you're cute.
I appreciate it. It helps a little bit.
As someone being in social media, that helps.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being funny looking in the days of social media.
Oh, you just don't read the comments. That's what I do.
Real shit.
Nope.
That part has been the con though, since the show dropped.
The comments.
It's the volume of it, both the volume in terms of quantity and the volume in terms of like actual. It's loud.
It's a lot.
It's loud, and my phone. Like I used to kind of clown when people be like, I gotta take a break from social media and shit like that. I just like cleanse myself. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Now I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
For the last like 72 hours, it's been like,
I bet.
My fucking God, dude. Even when I was chilling, like people be like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on with your phone?" It's just and it's comments and obviously it's all the different platforms people participating in the conversation. And I'm
so they tag you in
grateful.
everything.
I'm so grateful, bro. You have no idea. But it is like, I'm not sad about it. I'm not happy about it. I'm just tired.
Well, especially since people are so mad that you lost. Too.
Right. No, the outrage is there.
Also, you gotta silence your phone, bro. That shit killing me, dog. Okay, somebody's phone is going crazy.
It's literally probably mine.
Somebody's phone is going crazy over there.
Yeah, mine's silent?
It's
okay.
It's lining up.
Yeah, I was trying to blame me. Yeah.
That's just
can you put it on Do Not Disturb? Do you see what I'm saying? I thought you was joking.
No.
I ain't even been hearing it.
Oh, that's
He's
numb to it.
He's been tuned
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I was like,
You put it on D&D? Thank you. That is crazy that just happened in real life. That you was bothered by
God.
that. No,
I was like,
shit.
this manager is
We get it.
throwing it off.
Nah, dude, stop.
Too
Stop.
funny.
But I would say that's probably the biggest con for what it's worth. It's a pro at the end of the day. Right? You did this in order for people to have a conversation about it.
Well, you filmed, you went through the process. As you watch it back, do you feel like some of the things that you did may have gotten misconstrued in production, or is
Not at
everything
all.
just right
For me,
as was?
for me, spot on.
Good.
I can't speak for the other contestants.
Uh-huh.
Like I do, me and some of the other contestants have had conversations where they feel some type of way about the way that they were portrayed. But at the end of the day, and this is the producer in me, like you can't control the way, the cameraman behaves, even if it's like they're gonna hit an angle you don't like.
Yeah.
If they're gonna hit an angle you don't like where you feel like you look fat, lose weight. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So if you don't like the way your story's being produced, act right on camera.
So do you feel like that's an advantage that you had going
Hell
into
yeah.
it? So you were so aware going into this, things like angle and everything you say could be turned
That's
into
right.
something else.
That's
so
right.
moving throughout filming, you kept it in the back of your mind.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't want to imply that I was playing a character of any kind or, like not being myself. I think everybody who knows me, one of the greatest compliments that's come from the show from people that know me is like, damn, I'm watching Jay.
Okay.
Like that's the Jay I know. right? And I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong.
No, definitely.
Like it's.
Yeah,
I was
fake ass
myself.
Jay. Just watch it.
But I'm watching myself and I'm like, okay, I'm being myself. But also there was moments where I wanted to fire off, right? Like there was certain moments where I want to maybe talk shit on Rome before I'm going into this battle because that's part of the nature of the culture. But I'm like, I don't actually need to, and I don't actually have no beef with this dude. So just keep it right, just keep it funky because you don't want the audience to misperceive who you are. And so just be yourself and be on your P's and Q's. Like the same way you would want to at a job interview or whatever, like you don't want to go to a job where you can't be yourself. But when you are being yourself, don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah. And I think that's definitely helpful to keep your composure for the public perception, right? Because with the outcome,
right,
the way people are talking on Twitter, it's because of that.
Yeah, I think so too.
They wouldn't have been able to paint it a different way.
Right.
So everybody can see what's really going on.
Right.
I'm trying to say a lot without saying too much.
No, I feel where you're coming from.
So it's like, hey, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think that the way that I carry myself is both a reflection of my experience on set, but also I'm 32 on the show. I'm not 22. And if I was 22, whole different JayTaj.
Right.
Whole different dude. And so I kept saying that throughout the show. It's like people were going to take their shots at the fact that I was a little bit older. And media has been like, you being the oldest contestant that made, I'm like, okay, we get it, right? But at the end of the day, I'll take that 10 times over.
Right.
Because 22-year-old me was a fucking doofus. And I wouldn't have been able to hide that.
We all been there, bro.
Real shit.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine 22-year-old me on a reality-based show.
I drank to that because a camera should have never been in a 22-year-old version of my face.
Honestly, I had a camera in my face, and it was those talking head videos on YouTube that are long gone. And I look back at them like, what was I doing?
Let me do this.
What was I wearing, bro? What is going on?
Hey, look, we all went through that. I've privated a lot of those. I've privated a lot of those 20-something videos.
I went as far as deleting them because I don't want nobody like hacking Google and finding a way to get it up. It's gone. It never existed.
Let me ask you this, man, because I know, being on that show, you got judged by like different celebrity guests and stuff. Who was like a trip to be like, wow, this person is hearing my music and like fucking with it right now. Like this is such a crazy experience,
All of them.
Yeah,
every single one of them, I would say. When M came through the door, bro, I dead ass got chills from the top of my head down my whole body. No funny shit, but they kind of put you in this place where you forget that you're here. Like a lot of in the audition, I was looking at the faces I was making while they were giving me feedback. And in that moment, I remember why I was making those faces is because I forgot I'm not watching this on TV right now. I'm standing here. Like it's coming in through my eyes. I'm not watching this on a screen. And obviously you're on set. So the lighting and everything literally looks like you're watching it on TV. So when M came through, it was the same thing. I guess you could call it an out-of-body experience, but I kind of just forgot I was there, and you noticed that on camera. Even the homies was like, you did not respond. Everybody was going crazy. And you're just in the back, like staring at this dude because dead ass, it felt like it wasn't, I don't want to say it didn't feel real, but it just didn't, I wasn't present for a second.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, not gonna lie, it's even because like, I feel like if Ludacris was like judging my shit, because like, as a rapper, Ludacris was such a big influence
I could see that.
on just my style.
Ludacris and Traffic.
Yeah.
Two peas in a pod.
Yeah, man.
Two peas in a pod.
Well, I mean, look, to talk about it, like the way he was so like unserious, but also like clever with his shit.
And could spit though.
Yeah, man. It was very, I still, even now, like I try to, I be trying to be lyrical, but like clever and funny and shit, right? So that's such a big influence on me. So like to have him, if I was to be in a situation where he was judging my shit, I'd be like, oh, this is crazy,
right?
Right.
No,
who would you say is your biggest like influences, rapper wise?
Nobody that was on the show except Bus. Like Bus probably plays out of everyone that was actually on the show. Like in the history of my raps, Bus is probably the only one that has a significant influence. But a lot of my influences come from the West Coast, right? And there wasn't any West Coast integration when it came to the judges. So everybody from old school heads like Pac and Warren G, Mac 10, all the way to Dot and all of Top Dog Entertainment and TDE, Black Hippie, right? But then also, I love the roots. I love Black Thought. I love like that area of East Coast rap from Philly, Jersey, New York. I love that shit.
Where are you from, for those who don't know?
I'm from a little tiny little city called Santa Ana, out here in in Santa Ana County, aka Orange County, but we don't say that.
We don't claim the OC.
It ain't as cool.
And I want to be clear, that's no
County.
disrespect to the homies in OC, right? But it's like if you from
it's
Santa Ana,
different.
you literally don't say, like, it's very seldom when they be like, oh, where you from? You don't. Very seldom does a Santanero say, I'm from Orange County. Very seldom. I actually don't know a single time that I've ever heard anybody say that.
That wouldn't even make sense to me if
Right.
somebody from Santa Ana said the OC.
One time I got in trouble on Twitter because I shared a map of Orange County. And I was like, this is how Santa Ana views Orange County. And there was just Santa Ana County and the rest, right? And then there was like a line through Santa Ana that was like South County, North County. And oh my God, bro. People in Orange County got so upset about this. So upset. And they took it as us, like, you know, trying to put down these other cities and stuff. But it was really just like, I'm sorry, but we live in our own world. Everything's in Santa Ana, bro. You don't have to leave a city. Real shit. All the culture's there. You can have a job there. You can live there. You can die there and never leave the city.
Relax, OC.
This motherfucker. Where you from? Aren't you from Downey or something like that?
Paramount.
Yeah,
Well,
something
Long
like
Beach
that.
and
Tell
Paramount.
them to relax, get him out.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you was telling me, bro. My
He said,
bad.
hey.
Got a little
I wasn't
defensive there.
telling you to relax. I was
Literally just called me OC.
no, not you, fool. I was telling the OC to relax.
Yeah, no,
Relax.
I got
Relax.
so much love for the whole Juice and everybody.
Tight.
I gotta say, the whole Juice County knows I got mad love for everybody. There's so many incredible artists. The art culture in Orange County is incredible, but the culture in Santa Ana is just polarizingly different than the rest of the county. It's just the way it goes. The only other cities that remind me of home would be like Winter Park, you know, some parts of Anaheim, Garden Grove, at least East Side Garden Grove. And the rest of it, I'm like, it's just Orange County.
You like all the places with the good Asian food, I feel.
Come on, baby. Shout out Lil Saigon.
Okay, as someone who is not from Southern California, can you sum up Santa Ana? Like, because I don't understand anything you guys are saying right now.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. This is
In
not
what
where I'm
in what
from.
context do you want
This
me
is
to
a
sum it up?
big-
Because there's like so many different ways
Well,
to describe Santa Ana.
So, okay, how would you describe where you grew up?
Multicultural, while still somehow being mostly Mexican.
Okay.
You know, like I grew up in a Chicano neighborhood. It's a brown neighborhood. It reminds me of blood in, blood out. You know, I would say the closest thing, if you're from LA, the closest thing that reminds me of Santa Ana is like Boyle Heights or East LA in some ways.
Okay.
But Santa Ana is its own place, and all my homies from Santa Ana do not get mad that I said that. I know,
Look.
puro Santanero.
I am originally from Hawaii, but I stay in the Bay Area. So for me,
Oh, you want me to compare it to the Bay?
because I'm not
Santa Ana is the Oakland of Orange
easy.
County,
Okay,
without a doubt.
that makes so much sense because I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I understand what is happening right here between the three of you guys. Like, you guys have so much history and speak in a language sometimes that I cannot just sit here and nod and act like I know. But I would, but I would like to know so I can have an understanding. So you saying,
it's
clear.
the town, without a doubt. The town
That's
of
the
Orange
easiest-
County is Santa Ana.
Done.
Without
Okay.
a doubt.
I
And they
get
have
it.
their own wins. It's fucking crazy.
That is slightly different.
I'm sorry. Wait, what?
You never heard of Santa Ana Winds?
No.
That's not because of the city. That's
Wait,
Ricky's got it all
hold
fucked up.
What you mean? Like the air? Like
So there's okay,
There's a big ass fan in Santa Ana.
if you're in Southern California,
Yeah.
there's a
One fan.
seasonal Santa Ana winds.
like a
Storm.
gust?
No,
It's a
storm.
big gust. Yeah,
like
that.
and it's like, oh, that's that fucking Santa Ana
Santa Ana
winds.
winds.
Dry,
Yeah.
hot,
Okay.
lips all chapped.
Damn.
Yo, real quick, so for the second half of the episode, the video is a little glitchy and silly, something messed up, I don't know, blame Denisha. But here's some pictures, and the audio's good, so enjoy listening to our sexy voices.
Tell me about these Santa Ana winds.
I mean, first things first, Santa Ana winds don't come from Santa Ana, the city. They come from a region of canyons called the Santa Ana Canyons
Okay.
that are just part of Southern California.
Got it.
But yeah, everybody knows the Santa Ana winds. So
It's like a time of the year.
But he don't know
Literally.
about that because he lost.
Oh God! Santa Ana lose.
the Santa Ana losses.
At any time you
Santa
want to
Ana
stand up. Anytime.
Wait, I know I took an L more than he does. Believe that.
No, but you know what? I honestly feel like that might be the better look, bro. To see social media go in about how mad they are and how much they feel that you should have won. I think that is like gonna be like, oh,
Is
Right.
it,
you
like,
know?
validating, right?
Yeah.
Because like essentially
doubt.
you're the people's champ.
Right. That's the way it feels, at least.
And
I mean, it's
you're-
only been a few days.
Yeah, and like
So-
you're part PI, so it's like you, the Rock.
Oh, without it.
Yeah.
It was like serendipity, bro. I was just telling my manager to hold right here. The amount of serendipity shit like that Like I might as well change my name to Dwayne Johnson. You know? But it is. He's not wrong. And I will say, like, shout out to all the PRs because the love is crazy, man.
And if they don't know, what type of PI are you?
My family's from Guam, so my people are Chamorro. You know, but being raised in Southern California, there's not a lot of us.
Right.
And my family's also Samoan. You know, we're through some cousins and marriage. So I was raised in a black household. I should say that first and foremost. I was raised by my maternal parents, my maternal grandparents, because both of my folks got locked up when I was a baby.
Oh shit!
And so my mom's mom and dad raised me. That's Herschel and Tina. So anytime you hear me talk about my mom and dad, I'm really talking about my grandparents. So in that capacity, I'm raised in a black household. Eating black food, going to black church, singing black songs, right? And I didn't get around Polynesians or Pacific Islanders in any capacity till like high school, right? Like I knew my family, but because of the dynamic, you know how that shit goes. You got families that are a little bit separated and stuff. I'd be around for like, you know, one Christmas every few years or something like that. And then junior high school, you get around the Usos, right? And then I find out, oh, you know, like my Usos that are my bros now, like Langy, Jeff, Boo Boo, these guys turned out to be my actual family. You know, when you kind of like trace the marriages and stuff, and they became my family. So my first introduction to island culture is Samoan culture. Right?
You're like, oh shit, I gotta be a blood now.
Yeah, no, none of that.
Is that what it is? I'm just like, geez.
Well, I tell you, I've talked about this before. Side tangent.
Trying to get me killed, bro.
Side tangent. No, I say that because I've shared this story before.
SoCal shit is wild.
I'm not part of none of that.
Okay, to clarify, JayTaj is a part of none of that. But I had a homie because I went to school in Gardena for my majority of my elementary life, preschool to 8th grade. I had a homie who was Samoan and white, and he always, growing up in like Long Beach adjacent areas,
right?
You Snoop Dogg and shit, you claim Crip shit, right?
Right.
You know, as kids,
right.
And then he went to Gardena High, and he realized, oh shit, all the Samoans here are blood,
right?
And he came back after the summer, completely flipped. We're like, what the fuck? You was talking that Crip shit the last summer, dog.
I feel like that's most kids in most neighborhoods, like choose a hood every summer. You know, based on who's the most cracking rapper. When the game came out, dog. Everybody was rocking the Hurricanes. Everybody was super blood. And then Snoop Dogg drops RNG, drop it like it's hot. All of a sudden, everybody Crip walking.
I feel like this is a SoCal fucking introduction right now. I'm so just like.
It is, yeah. It is.
I mean, of course we do, but even thinking.
There's Bloods and Crips in Hawaii. That's for
sure. Of course, but for me, like when we moved from Hawaii, I moved into a house with like 13 other Hawaiians.
Right.
I grew up very Hawaiian. So, but I didn't know anybody outside of my own family until I was in college.
And this is in the Bay?
In the Central Valley.
Oh, okay.
So I moved to the Bay as an adult, and of course I got introduced to everybody else,
right.
when I think groups and everything. So representation for us is important. So even when I was looking and I see the tattoos and I see certain things, I see certain things, I'm just like, wow, growing up, we never saw that.
Never.
And we can say The Rock. You can say The Rock and you can say Nicole Scherzinger.
Nah, we didn't say that.
I'm sorry. I said that because I found out she was Hawaiian.
Right.
And I'm Hawaiian. And mind you, we only have so many people.
Respect.
But to see anybody that is on camera with the tattoos and even the small gestures. I mean, we're all Polynesian essentially.
Right.
We're clinging on to whoever we got.
Real shit.
So for me, it's exciting to see somebody that's able to go onto a platform for my nieces, for the rest of my family to be like, look, we can do other things outside of the two people that we know.
Right. You don't have to be in the NFL.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a security.
You don't got to be a lineman.
Right. You don't have to be a wrestler.
Right. Lineman, wrestler. I mean,
and also too, I will say this: you also don't have to sing reggae music.
Right.
Like,
you can
I love island reggae music, bro.
Absolutely.
Love Jake Boog, love Sammy Johnson, Tanel. The list goes on.
Right.
But I'm like, I can't sing. So the last time you had like representation in hip hop, I mean, I don't want to say, because there's hella poly rappers out there. D-Boy, Craig, there's so many ill ass Tongan and Samoan and poly rappers and Micronesian, Melanesian rappers out there. But on a big scale, it ain't been nobody since Booyah Tribe.
Booyah Tribe. Shout out to Booyah Tribe. That's crazy.
But it's beautiful for us to see.
Right.
It's really, we always talk about representation, and a lot of people are always fighting for that.
No, that's got to be the most gratifying part of this whole experience.
I'm still looking for others out there to even be like, oh, you know what that means?
Right.
That's us. Like,
Real shit.
you see certain things.
You know you're one of them, right?
I know.
You do know that, right? Like, you
I
are
guess.
one of those. When I found out you
I
was
say
Hawaiian,
my dad. I was like, that's dad. Thanks, dad.
real shit. When I found out you was Hawaiian watching the show, I'm like, hell yeah. Immediately, like, automatic, I'm a fan. I don't care if you guys ever do some funny shit. Just because you got a Hawaiian on the show, I'll ride for you.
And it's really dope, especially like you talking about where you were raised and who you're raised around. For a lot of us, Polynesian culture is such a blend.
Real shit.
With R&B, we love culture.
Real shit.
We are always gonna gravitate towards anything that has meaning.
Right.
And you saying the household that you grew up in and how it reflects in your work, it's what our house looked like.
Amen.
And for a lot of people, we don't know how to explain that to everybody else. To
Right.
be like, why do we love R&B? I don't know why Filipinos can sing.
Dude, they all can sing.
And why we all love R&B.
Right.
I don't know,
Right.
but it is kind of one of those things that when somebody can go onto a platform and like, do you see the talent?
Yeah.
Do you see how?
And I'm not an anomaly. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
Like, you meet all my cousins and all my family.
Yeah.
I am not an anomaly when it comes to talent. That's crazy.
And to pull all the credit from everywhere that it came from.
Real shit. Yeah.
I
And I
love
think
that.
that, you know, like, back to what you're saying, is the household dynamic is I didn't grow up in a Pacific Islander household. I wasn't raised as a Pacific Islander. I'm raised as a young black man, right? Being raised by a black man. And so even then, the amount of cultural overlap, minus some details of maybe some practices and, you know, maybe call it rituals or habits, these households are the same, right? If you grow up in these neighborhoods, it doesn't really matter. Like, my homies that are Chicano, my Thai homies, all the people in my neighborhood, they kind of all have the same house, right? And so there's a lot of connectivity there in that way. But from the standpoint of like seeing somebody that looks like you or is wearing your traditional artwork on their skin in a way that is outside of the one that had it before, which was The Rock, it feels good. It honestly feels good to even watch myself up there, to see my tattoos and be able to know that this is my cousin Alex art on my neck and it's immortalized. That's crazy. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Let me ask you this, man. As somebody, you know, I'm raising a daughter that, like, you know, she has a bunch of stuff in her, and I be like, in my head, I'm like, you know, when do I start to really? When is she gonna realize that she's a Thai girl, a half Thai girl? You know, because I'm not like raising her as like quote unquote Thai girl, right? So as you know, for you, who's somebody who like you were raised in like a black household, but then like when did you start to really feel like you should get in touch with this Islander side? Like, how was that for you to be like, oh shit, this is a part of me? How do I connect to this? You feel me?
Well, for me specifically, it came from, like, we were just talking about this in the car. It came from a repetition of never fully feeling like you belong to any group. So being raised in a black house, going to a black church, I know what I look like, okay? Like, it's not, I'm not stupid.
They let you know.
Right. No, but that's the thing I was actually telling my manager, is like, of all my, and I'll get to this, but of all the families that I'm part of, I would say like my black family is probably the one family that I can't recall a time ever that they were like, you're not one of us, right? I was the one looking in the mirror like, what in the fuck? Like, why don't my cornrows stay in? Right? Like, what the fuck?
You said my hair's soft. What the
fuck is going on, right?
Y'all sure I'm not Mexican?
Yeah. No, real
Who's
shit.
lying?
So to that part,
Who's
it's like,
lying?
to answer your question, it's like, I always felt like nobody ever made me feel this way, but I always felt like, oh, I'm not black enough. I look like a Mexican in a Mexican neighborhood. My neighbors reminded me I'm a gringo every day, right? And then when you get around in high school and you get around the Usos and stuff, you know, we're kids, but they're like, man, you ain't no Samoan, bro. You swear. I was that kid with the ukulele and the ear lava lava and the whole thing. Grew my hair out and I was like walking around playing Jeremy Passion and shit.
Oh, no.
You know, fucking playing Lemonade, just that annoying ass shit.
This fool doing too much.
Real shit. No, on Dead Daddies, on everything. The homies was like, yeah, you ODing right now. So that sense of like,
Y'all want some spam with
no,
Just got him on deck. Y'all want some musubis?
it was more like I was asking, y'all got musubis? But anyways, so to answer your question about baby girl, it's like I began to embrace my differences and I began to like realize, okay, I'm all of these things and that's what makes my life complicated. And so I chose, literally probably not too far into my adulthood, I chose that if I'm gonna claim to love all these different things that, you know, make me who I am, I have to learn it and I have to respect it and I have to put myself in a position to not misrepresent it, whether that's, you know, black habits in the household that I learned from my family or, you know, Polynesian cultural habits and things and and represent different elements and symbols that represent who we are. You know, like all the artwork on my body is not just slapped on my body, it means something, right? And so I try not to participate in these things or claim to be a participant if I don't give a fuck. And I do give a fuck. And I think really your daughter will get to that same place.
Yeah.
She'll have to choose.
I'm gonna instill it in her. You better give a fuck eventually. Yeah. I know you're not doing no tie shit right now, but you better
you know what else
you better
play
give
a major
fuck.
role? Grandma and grandpa. Real shit. Your mom and dad and her love for them and that relationship will spark something once that consciousness begins to develop.
That makes sense.
I love them and I want to be like them. And she'll do the same thing for Chia's folks.
To be like, I don't want her being confused like Nikki for so long.
Right.
Well, I mean, mind you, different time,
shit.
and you know, being mixed growing up wasn't necessarily the norm as much as it is now.
Right.
My babies are everything I am. My nieces are everything I am plus Black, and they are so aware. And their friends are so aware, and it's just very different. And I know for us, every time we've had a guest, it's almost been like, guess what Nikki is?
No, I for sure thought you was a Black girl. For sure thought you was a Black girl. I always did.
A lot of people do.
So I learned about it.
And it was tough because when you want to be so connected with your own culture, and sometimes you feel like the culture isn't connected with you.
Facts.
It gets difficult to
Facts.
keep putting yourself out there when you feel like I go home and I get called names.
Right.
And I don't want to have to put on an accent
Right.
to let people know what my bloodline is.
Right.
And so I've always taken...
Not to mention Hawaiians have taken such a beating from a DNA standpoint.
Yeah.
It's like what does a Hawaiian look like anymore? It's like hard. The Chamorros go through the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of my family looks like Filipinos. You know, we have such a Spanish colonization that's running through our bloods. You know, so it's like I know that feeling. It's like we don't quite look like other polys.
No,
I don't.
But there's small things that I think is really beautiful about culture. I saw your necklace and I was like, oh, I mean the tattoos, mind you.
Yeah, it's kind of a dead giveaway.
I've definitely I've seen a couple people have been like, oh, you're Maori. He said, I'm sorry, what? And I was like, what the fuck did you put on your arm?
I was like, I saw this on Moana. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like I'm Maui.
Yeah.
But you know, whenever we think about cultural acceptance, I really am excited for where we're moving towards, because there's I hate to use the word representation and it feels so played out, but it is something that is very important to even have a conversation about us being confused.
Yep.
Being lost in all of this.
I must say, I recognize that there's a thin line between representation and appropriation. There's a very thin line, especially for someone like me. I'm on Netflix talking about Usos, Tocos, and I'm Chamorro. I'm not Samoan by blood. I'm not, Tongan by blood, but I grew up in these cultures, right? So when I say Uso Toco, I'm talking about my Usos, and I'm talking about my Tocos, right? And so I knew going into this space that there might be some Samoans and there might be some Tongans who feel a type of way, right? But that's just the way it goes, okay? And so when I went into that space, knowing that, again, back to like the respect for the history and the knowledge comes from like, I know that the artwork on my neck is influenced by multiple cultures. I have Chamorro patterns that, go across the back of my neck. And I have like the Tongalo on the back of my head is Marquesian. And then we got downtown LA and the Guam, the seal of Guam, you know what I'm saying? And then I know that my arm is full of Tongan and Samoan patterns. And then my right arm is a whale's tail, which is traditional in Chamorro culture. I know these things. Okay. That's the most important part. Yeah. We see hella people that got our artwork that don't know shit. And that's the shit that we kind of feel like is a little goofy sometimes. That's where it becomes an accessory and not like a nod to what it really is. And so that's a super thin line, but I knew that going in. Yeah. And I'm sure there's people out there who maybe is like, man, fuck this fool.
Well, I just want to say thank you for being able to get onto a platform at that level with the knowledge of what you have on you and what you represent. And for someone like me that never got to see it, I can easily show my nieces and my family members. I was like, look, we can do more.
That's right.
So thank you for doing
anything,
that.
Actually.
We can do anything.
Anything.
So it's amazing that
you man, it's a beautiful thing. I'm super grateful.
Yeah. You ever been to Guam?
No, but I'm going in next year.
Are you?
Yeah.
I heard
2025 is lit.
Yeah. It really is. I heard Chamorro food is like
it's
fire.
Unstoppable, bro.
I've heard good things.
Calaguin, finna Denny, everything.
Shit, I'm finna have some finna Denny, dog.
She said I'm finna do it.
I'm finna go to Denny's and have some finna.
I'm finna Denny.
I'm finna have Denny right now.
Finna have Denny, have some finna Denny.
Nah, man. No, island food is unfucking stoppable. From Hawaiian food, Samoan food, Chamorro food, Hawaiian food is unstoppable.
Should have put more on me. God damn it. I be eating all the food. I got the skinny jeans. Jesus.
so you can fit in some skinny jeans. Whoa.
Yeah, skinny jeans is hard though. I like that. It's like a double entendre.
Well, shit, man.
I don't have those jeans. Like I have one piece of lumpia and I gain like 40 pounds.
Stop.
Well, damn, that's just because we old.
Don't be an ageist.
Oh, I am an Asian. What do you mean? Whoa, chill. Where can we find you? Anything you want to plug, bro, before we get out of here?
You can find me at JayTaj. The Little Jerry demos is streaming everywhere. It's a beautiful project, a small little demo into what's to come in 2025 in terms of texture and sound. Yeah, man, I just want to say thank you to Rick and Tim and Nikki and my homeboys. That you guys have been my homeboys for a long time. And I tell everybody whenever y'all come up in conversations, like, oh, Rick and Tim, I'm like, man, they changed my life, real shit.
Oh, man,
so,
come on.
No, I'm dead ass, man. So for this to be one of the real, like the first real conversations I've had since the show, it's symbolic to me, and I'm grateful.
Hey, man, well, props to you. Congrats on the show and everything. You always been a real one. From the jump, I mean, we don't kick it, but I always.
Me and Rick do.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
Call it out. Like I don't spend time with you because I got kids and shit.
Because he don't want to be a liar.
Right.
That's true. I don't kick it with nobody. So, but I've always had nothing but good things to say about JayTaj.
This is true.
Out of the whole fucking
Absolutely.
I call them the residue crew, people that we used to be in Eric's videos and did their own thing. I don't always have nice things to say, but I always have nice things to say about JayTaj. All right.
Man.
So hey, shout out to you, my guy. I appreciate you for pulling up. Make sure y'all follow him and listen to his music. Because it's good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's okay,
genuinely.
yeah.
Thank you to y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit. Thank you for
Go to
watching.
Netflix right now.
And watch it on Netflix.
Watch.
Yes,
Flow,
and even if it's 6 months from now, tweet about how you mad that he
Absolutely.
lost.
Hey, shout out to my brother JayTaj, man. Love you, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you for watching No Chaser Podcast. I'm Tim Shantharamasu.
I'm Ricky Shucks.
I'm Nikki Blaze.
Bye.